So, a few months ago, I got a Discord DM from a guy asking me to play a game. The guy in question was the Hellbox. He's the man who created Kiss MP. You know, the multiplayer mod for BeamNG. Not that one. Anyways, he reached out because he's working on a game that he plans to release this year, and wanted me to check out the demo. This game is called Beatercore. It's as if Jalopy and Street Legal Racing Redline had a baby. You start out repairing this little car before you go racing with it. The car's parts wear down as you race, and even faster if you crash, so you have to constantly keep up with the maintenance if you want to stay competitive. And here's how all of that went for me. I decided to start with regular difficulty because I'm a professional racer, and after experiencing this canon event in the tutorial race, I went off to try out this time trial event. And I actually won my first time trial race. But that would turn out to matter a lot less than I expected. Each event in Beatercore has 3 races, and between each of those races, there is a field repair stage where you can repair your vehicle. Though, my car barely had any wear to it, so I moved on to trial 2 out of 3. I didn't do quite as well in this one, because like any professional racer, I completely ignored my co-driver and did this.
Oh.
So, I got last. But there was still one last time trial remaining. Was I able to redeem myself there? The answer? No!
Oh, my god.
Not only did I manage to roll over, but I also managed to spin the car
I
too.
don't think it's... What the...
So I got last. Again. Yay. Thinking that maybe time trials weren't for me, I immediately jumped into a contact race. Well, there were still 2 races to go, meaning I still had a chance, right?
Whoa.
Before I knew it, I'd blown past all my opponents and was on the home stretch. I was about to finally win my first real race.
No. I was bad at
Oh.
that. Bruh.
Well, as they say, third time's the charm, right? I
Okay.
kept getting blocked and brake checked the entire race, but I still managed to make this cool pass in the first, and eventually I finally won an actual race. Meaning I got 4th place and $750. Yay. I was now left with a car that was a little worse for wear, and not enough money to rebuild the engine. So, I did what I could and bought a new air filter and a jug of oil, put them in my car, and tried to race again. Come on, man, that's just mean. By this point, my engine condition was so bad that I wasn't even able to score a podium finish. As a last resort, I bumped the difficulty down to easy for the next 2 races, and here's how that went. Dude, why? Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Oh boy. Yeah! And just like that, I was back to being competitive in the races again. Well, I was until my engine decided that it was now a 3-cylinder. And one more brake check was all she wrote before I couldn't even get a podium finish yet again. Yay. At the very least, that last brake check made cylinder 3 start working again. But I had realized the spiral I'd ended up in and messaged the developer for ideas. After admitting my skill issue to him, he suggested turning down the difficulty to easy, which I'd already done, and to look into getting a sponsorship to provide me with a faster car. So, I talked to this guy at the shop, and oh, that's a problem. I still wanted to see what this game had to offer, so I started a new save and set the difficulty to easy from the get-go. And dang, is easy mode sure easy if you actually have a car that can move under its own power. Turns out my car was just so busted and broken that even the easy mode racers were faster than me. Normally, they're so slow that if your car is in good condition, you can sometimes even lap them. Since I had now done 3 races without colliding into anybody, I could realistically estimate the maintenance cost per race. Here's what I found. However, I had made 3 significant errors with those calculations. 1. I assumed that the parts remained competitive for their entire life. They do not. 2. I assumed that the wear was the only source of condition degradation. It is not. And 3. I assumed that I had found every part on the vehicle that wears out. I would soon find out that I did not. But before that, I wanted to try out that sponsorship deal. So I talked to Pavel and he loaned me his truck. With that, I could finally enter the 1600 class event and earn slightly more money. And here's how that went. Whoa. Ow. Ooh. I just... Ow. Ow. No! Oh, okay. Whoa, no! You get one wheel pop up. Whoa! Whoa. Yeah. Gosh dang it. Okay. I did it. Hooray. Wait, I got first place and lost money? Yep. I ended up with a total profit of negative $810 thanks to that sponsorship. Yay! Because of that, I decided to quit Pavel's sponsorship and start working towards my own 1600 class car. So back to racing it was. Now remember back to when I did those calculations, I said I didn't factor in every part on the car. Well, yeah, this is where I found out what part I was missing. I don't know why it tells me to do that. Oh, that's... Oh, my wheel is seized up. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Put that there. Get back in. Also didn't think my wheel bearings were going to just seize up like that until now. So that's good to know. After losing that race, I decided it was finally time to maintain my car. And by that point, it needed pretty much everything. Kit, air filter, so, oil. Back to the part store it was to buy nearly every single part you could get for the car. The only things I couldn't get were front brakes, but I'll still include them in the total cost, since they were still needed. So, my starting amount, before all the races, was $1,190. I did 4 events, so 12 races, and had to buy engine oil and an air filter in the middle of that. I'd only lost 1 race out of those 12, every other one I'd gotten first in, which brought my total money up to $11,940, pretty much exactly tenfold. But then I had to maintain my car, and including the front brakes, which I couldn't yet buy, that brought my cash back down to $2,040. This meant that in terms of profit per race, after winning nearly every single one of them, I was earning a total of around $70 a race. This was going to take a while. Now you might be wondering why I didn't buy front brakes. Well, the shop in Beatercore doesn't always have every part in stock, and in order to refresh it, you either have to race or rest. And when I went to rest, this is what I found out. Rest cost me money? Yep, resting in this game costs you money for some unexplainable reason, and not only do you just have to pay to sleep, which is already a gaming sin, but it costs a massive amount too. That's more than it would have cost me for my brake pads. That is 4 races of profit just gone from resting for a single night. And another thing too is the fact that you can rest for multiple nights and still not end up with the part that you need in stock. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that resting in Beatercore costs you money. Anyways, without the front brakes that I needed, I went back to racing when this happened. Yeah, I might have forgot to install that part, whoops. One quick wheel bearing install and I was back to the races. I ended up grinding the game $70 a race at a time to eventually save up and finally buy another car. This took a while, and it was a little bit tedious, but I finally saved up to buy this Zam Lizard. Though, I didn't actually have enough money to maintain it just yet, so back to racing my Zam Zap it was. Soon, I had enough money to take care of my Lizard, and it was time to finally give it a shot in the autumn race. Ooh, brakes. And even though my brakes failed on the last lap of the final race, I still managed to win and take home another gold trophy. After beating all of the single-player events, I found it was time to try out multiplayer. Considering the fact that the Hellbox made a multiplayer mod for BeamNG, it only made sense that his own game had multiplayer as well. And not only does Beatercore have online multiplayer, but it has LAN and split-screen modes too, which is honestly awesome to see. So, I grabbed a friend and we checked out the multiplayer mode together. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Yeah. Hey.
You look like this guy over here.
Yeah, you do too.
And holy cow is multiplayer fun. You can see each other's garages, player models, break the game together, and, well, obviously do races together. And you're not even locked to the same class of car, which can make for some really interesting races. And not only that, but multiplayer absolutely showers you in money. What you get for losing a 2-person 1-lap multiplayer race is almost double what you get from winning a 6-car 3-lap single-player race. If you do one single 10-lap race in multiplayer, that's enough to get you a new car, even if you lose. Once the constant stress of money and the tedium of grinding was removed, I was truly able to realize just how fun this game can be. You can get a group of friends, all load up your trunks, and do a 24 minutes of lemons race together. And it wouldn't even take that long to set up because of just how much money multiplayer throws at you. I didn't actually get to do an endurance race like that, but if you guys want to see that in a future video, let me know in the comments below. So that's was Beater Core. Since it is just an early access demo right now, I would like to give some feedback if I can. The game has a lot of potential to be fun, though as it sits, it could possibly see a few tweaks to the vehicle parts wear balancing and total race earnings. The fact that even though I avoided crashing into things and maintained it pretty well, yet still had to rebuild my engine more often than I had to replace my tires was a little bit odd. And having only $70 of profit at the end of each race after winning all of them was kind of underwhelming. Also, especially with the stress of having almost no money, it is a tad annoying not being able to see the condition of some parts in-game, or even what differential or flywheel you have installed. It would also be really nice to have a UI scale option, as I found the map a little hard to read on my screen. That being said, multiplayer is really fun though. It is also neat that it does give you more money than single player, as that gives you more of a reason to get your friends to play the game. And I love the fact that there's also split screen and LAN modes available. Not enough games offer those features nowadays. I don't know what's all planned for the full release of Beater Core, but it would be sick to see timed or lapped endurance races, like 15 minutes or 25 laps or whatnot, so you can actually use the on-track repair feature more. It'd also be cool to see more vehicles, more race classes, and possibly even entire new regions. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself, and that's probably blown up the scope of the game a lot more than it really needs to be. What I'm trying to say is I do like the game, and I am excited to see where it goes. And I think that about covers it for the Beater Core demo as of now. I put a lot more hours into the game than I expected to for this video, which might be a good thing. But I've run out of things to talk about for now, so as always, thank you guys for watching. This has been Akimbo, and I'm signing off.